Hey all, this is Ursa, and as promised, we're back in their billions after that whole just SimCity moment. We're day 88, and the last wave is a-coming. As you can see, we've definitely filled out our walls considerably. We are currently walling off the key executor units, items, things of that nature to make sure that the Zeds have just a little more things to chew from. I actually like that little line. Someone in the comments mentioned Zeds. I'm going to kind of adopt that now because we have A's and we have Zeds. And somehow that works out. Very English point of view. But practically speaking, yeah. We're going to keep walling off this area as much as humanly possible because we're just super paranoid about this. But as you can see, as our military has increased, we have currently 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 groups of Titans. So that's about 31 in total. That's good soup, my friends. That's good soup. Stay thirsty, my friends. But we basically have a crap ton of Titans to go and address problems elsewhere. We still have, obviously, the Thanatoses. We're just going to leave them in this area and have them just blow stuff up. Along with the ladies, they'll be our first line of defense. Because this area, if it falls, we can always pull back. So it's not that much of a concern, or as much of a concern as the other ones. But you can see, supporting a military of this size, and supporting GATs and executors, well, GATs meaning executors, we call them GATs because they're Gatling guns, basically, but executors tends to tank that economy. We were sitting pretty last episode around 2,400, 2,500. We're now down to 1,200, which is not nothing, mind you. But obviously the shortfall is considerable. As you can also see, we are not yielding any oil. It'll stay around 31 for good. It'll go up and down, basically. You pay maintenance on a fixed schedule. Your oil wells produce at a different schedule, but it'll eventually go back down to 31 or so. So again, we're maxed out on oil. We've got 2 Thanatoses and 31 Titans. Not too shabby for kind of the oil-intensive late game. We've got at least 1 GAT everywhere. I think we've got 2 in most places, if not 3 in some of the key. There's a 3 right there that we're doing. And we're going to keep kind of just tweaking and adding more to the defense layers as things come. Purely because that's what we need to do. Got to get them GATs in place and got to get them GATs done because that is how we roll, baby. And again, if you've got extra stone, just putting extra walls around your defensive like firing units like ballista and your GATs, it doesn't hurt. Simply because it's just that much more for the zombies to chew on when they try to break through. And they will usually go for the nearest item. So if you give them a scratching post around there, they'll do that while the GAT just conveniently goes thanks and chews them up some more. So we're going to keep building that around. And you can see we're walling in kind of the key defensive structures like the GATs. The ballista we don't really expect to last forever, which is totally normal. I mean, they're there to break down the major concentrations of enemies, and then the GATs will clean up what's left, more or less. This is our current plan. But at day 89, obviously, we're very, very close to kind of D-Day, so to speak. That comes around day 91. You have 24 hours to make your final preparations, make your peace with whatever situation you found yourself in, and then hope for the best. A suitable beverage for an epic battle. That's some good Polish mead, baby. Alrighty, what are we waiting for? We're waiting for money. As you can see, like, you know, our economy is definitely slowing down at this point, but that's okay. We have Titans nearly everywhere on the key positions, so no complaints on that whatsoever. Attention. Continue to rock out with our members aloft and our ability to build walls intact. Gorgeous, gorgeous. There's our money influx. And quickly pause and identify where the weaknesses are. But as you can see, like, the wider fronts here, we've put 4 executors purely because it's going to be tough, and we put a Titan group there. Just so we figure that's going to get pushed pretty hard. The wider front is, the worse life is going to be for you. So, we're going to put another executor here. Why? Not entirely certain why we're doing that so intensely there, primarily because, yeah, it's a wide front there, but I'm not sure we'll put one over in that direction. But, hey, put one down. Why not? In there, really? Yeah, it's probably not bad. Some AoE. Get the AoE. No, we need to move Titans in there. That's not a good idea. But as you can see, basically what we've kind of come to rely on is a set of double walls and then another gap, enough to put some more defensive items in there, and another set of double walls. And that's usually done pretty good for us so far. So we're kind of taking that same approach here on the peaceful lowlands. Kind of the way it rolls. Kind of the way it rolls. Actually, now that I'm thinking about it, because sometimes when you're just building defenses or things, you're kind of slow. Early game's pretty busy, but kind of mid-game into late game can lag a little bit, which is why we cut out basically an entire episode's worth of content, because it's just us building walls. What I'm thinking of doing is actually accelerating the next episodes kind of a little quicker. So the action will be faster, but my voice will be normal. So I'm not going to be talking at like 200 miles an hour. I'm going to see how that's going to go. I'm not sure if that's going to be able to, if I'm going to be able to coordinate that particularly well, given how I'm basically recording this ex post. But it might be a more interesting way to see it and kind of get you more content, a more compact package, so to speak, because this game can tend to be kind of thinky sometimes, and well, that's still unnecessary. Here we're talking about do we want to upgrade these two executors. In my mind, that's totally unnecessary. Up in the north, we've kind of overdone it. We've got 3 executors in every little branch. So this is, I feel relatively comfortable there. Put our snipers on that corner so we can kind of hit stuff if it pulls down. We've got a bunch of executors. What, 6 on that side? That's bananas. We've got not that many there. We got 4, and it's a pretty wide front. That decision for once, old self, I agree with you. I would have done that exact same thing. Buttress those executors a little bit more. And here, like I said, we have some extra cash, we have some extra walls. We're going to double up here just so those ballistas don't get eaten so easily. And again, if it ever comes to that, we want to make sure that the zombies have as much to scratch on as possible. Just block off stuff. Beautiful. There, we can't really do much more. We want to make sure we can move and retreat the ladies and the Thanatoses. Well, the ladies who are left, they are hardened veterans at this point. And the Thanatoses who are there just flexing their muscles at some point. They're doing pretty good. No complaints there. But yeah, I'm sure they're not going to break to the command center there, given how many freaking ballista are there and how many defensive units. Just the front line is a little on the, well, it's not sparse. It's got three executors, not too bad. But it's a little on the sparser side, so we're just seeing, make sure that all our stuff, all our T's are crossed, I's are dotted, and we have defensive lines all the way back down. It's looking pretty good. So we feel pretty comfortable that we should be able to handle whatever the zombies throw at us, kind of in this last major offensive, this last major wave, or major waves, plural, because they do come from all the major cardinal points. When you're sitting on like 30 titans, 6 groups of 5+, and then you're sitting on at least 3 executors per front and per wall, you're doing pretty good. And your economy is around 1130 still after all that. So we can still kick out a couple more executors, a couple more titans to make sure we're well defended. And it's looking pretty good. And again, this is me and Mama Earth going through all our defenses, all our lines, while it's paused, to make absolutely sure that we have everything covered. And at this point, it kind of looks like we do. So we're just going to now be doing a little bit of vanity work, so to speak. We're going to keep adding executors where we feel like it, adding walls where we feel like it. The major shortfalls are been addressed. And we're very concerned about wide fronts. They tend to go badly. So we are very, very paranoid, making sure we have enough firepower on this side. I do believe that's probably a good move. Get that GAT working. I think that would be a good GAT. That front is really, really wide. I would totally upgrade it. I would totally upgrade it. Go ahead and do it. Makes sense, bruh. Makes sense, bruh. Do it, bruh. Come on, bruh. Do it, bruh. Do it, bruh. If they have stuff coming in there whopping against the walls, that's still going to start getting chops. And as soon as that first wall goes down, you're going to see a lot more. So I think it's a worthy executor upgrade. And we're hesitating on it for some reason. No, we did. Okay, it's good. A little low on power. Do we have any more mill space? We do, though, in the new area. Right there. Yeah, there you go. New mill space. God, this is going to be like the world's least defended mills, but that's alright. Not the biggest deal. We're out of cash, but as you know, or as you can see, each one of these executor upgrades does take a chunk of power, so make sure you have enough for the late game. You don't want to get shortchanged. I think everyone is 8, if I'm not mistaken. We were at 16, now we have 8 power. They're not cheap, but they do the work, and what work they do. Beautiful stuff. So we do love some GATs. We do love some executors there. Such a cool, you got to really take some time to appreciate the art style in this game and how much is done, because you play a lot of this pretty zoomed out. When you zoom in, like, it's really, really cool. They did an amazing job with the assets here. Definitely has that feeling. Right now we're kind of appreciating that, I think.
Building completed.
Not enough resources to complete this building. We're just waiting a little more for a little bit of cash. Again, our excess wood is currently giving us the cash. Now we got a massive influx again. We're going to see what we want to do here. It's basically 1 executor per influx and what else we want to do with it. And that's fine. That's the third one. I would totally do it there. The every other front has 3, so I think that's totally agreeable. We do have some housing there. I could see that being worthwhile. I mean, why not? You have the money, you have most of your fronts already handled, so at this point we're just kind of making sure we just cover up every last little bit. And again, a lot of this work is going to be using up what resources we do have to fill in some more walls. There we have too many in the same area, so they know likey, but that's okay. Too many walls in the same area. Building completed. cannot comply. Building in progress. Oh, God, I love CNC 95, man. I played the crap out of that game when I was in high school. Loved it, loved it, loved it, loved it. Yeah, it was my first introduction to RTS. Everyone talking about Red Alert at the time, but I actually went out and bought the original. So I was like, I know Red Alert's a thing, but can we buy the original CNC? And it was worth it, because then I met didn't meet, but was introduced to the wonder that is Kane, and all that good stuff. And I played the crap out of Nod, by the way. I wasn't a GDI guy. Definitely played Nod. I mean, you might not be surprised at this point, but yeah, definitely played Nod. The technology of peace. No, it's just, I don't know, that game had such a great campy vibe without being like painfully campy. Like, you know, the new Charlie's Angels with what's her face? Well, the new Charlie's Angels, let's say. It's just, that movie was like, I could watch like maybe 5 minutes of it because it was like so campy. It was awful, you know. I just couldn't handle it. But then there's like good campy, like Dylan Dog. There's good campy, and CNC was definitely good campy. Like, it was amazing. I love that series so much, and I cried when Westwood died.
God, a huge swarm is coming. They are billions.
They are billions, so there we go.
They are approaching from all sides.
Hello.
Yep. So 24 hours
Good
at this
morning,
point,
sir.
and here we're making sure all the Titans are set up. We know where our groups are. We know we can quickly command them. And like I said, when the final wave does come, don't think you have to play it like an RTS. You definitely have time. You definitely have time to pause, think, and rearrange where units are going to be guarding. So avoid the temptation to kind of go like, oh, well, we're fucked. No. There's always a chance. I mean, sometimes you are, and that's totally fair. But other times you're not, and you should really think and pause and see if you can't salvage the situation. So that's my biggest advice, I think, from what we've learned in the end game. Make sure you just use that pause button liberally when you start seeing waves pushing in too soon, too early. As you can see, we went a little ham on upgrades in the north, but again, we're doing this primarily because we have lots of residents here. We do not want an infection to spread from here, because that would generate gobs and gobs of zombies we don't really want to deal with. So that's not so good. That would be bad. So we're going to try to be careful about this and kind of be extra paranoid here. And again, we didn't do extra executors down south because, again, we don't have housing there. But up here, if anything breaks through, and we really have a breakthrough, which I don't think will happen at this point, especially with the Titan group supporting, you know, it could get ugly. It could get ugly real fast. So we got to be smart about it. We got to do the best we can. As you can see, that northernmost GAT on that side there, it has way too many walls in front of it. It will have trouble kind of having support from behind. So I think that was a little bit of a misbuild. I shouldn't have built that many walls because the ones behind it won't be able to support it effectively. Yeah, but here again, we're talking about, do we need more down here? But it's then we have a second layer there. I'm not worried. It looks good. But the dramatic music will be going on the whole time. So just get used to it, learn to love it. And there's going to be a lot of zombies to chew up. So those like 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, like what, 15 cottages down there? Not very happy right now. Why are we moving these Titans to? We decided to move them north, did we? Don't know if that was the right move. Do we decide to move them north? Interesting. I can't entirely recall what we were trying to do with them. It might have been going north, just because we're so worried about the breakthrough there. Because there is, you know, gobs and gobs of residential territory. We don't want to get in the way. I'm not sure if that's going to prevent my Titans from getting to the other side, but I think it'll be fine. It's never just camping. Yeah, this is kind of like that. The calm before the storm. You're just kind of planning, like you've done all the preparations, and you want to see if it's enough. Where am I sending those guys? I'm not entirely certain where we're sending them. Yeah, I don't really remember. It's a weird choice, I think, at this point. We're like, well, what are we doing with those? Or maybe we moved them to a different particular direction in the south. Or realized we had way too many Titans down there and decided to move them north. Because it is, you know, very urban up there. We'll see. I don't know. It doesn't really particularly matter. Again, we're just going over this and paranoiacally checking to see if we can make sure we've got the supplies and everything ready to go. And this thing will come. Like, it'll be there soon. Don't you worry. We just rock and roll it, baby. We just rock and roll it. Yeah.
Building completed.
So do we move that Titan pack out there? I don't see anyone migrating across the map, so my guess is we kind of kept them south. We just moved them over a little bit. In that moment, we realized we had wooden gates still on the inside, so if worse should happen, we want to make sure we have at least a little more time upgrading all those to stone. Make sure we've got that all handled, because we do have the money for it. And you might as well spend it. I mean, what else are you going to save it for? If you're dead, you can't spend the money, and if you live, then you can gradually get money. So we are trying to ensure the survival of our colony here. No price is too high, no challenge is too great, and we got a fuck ton of Titans, so that always helps. That tends to help things. I do rely on those big guys pretty heavily, but we also rely on Gats and everything. And but with 30 Titans, like that's a tidy sum of these boys. And you know, whereas you do need executors to make sure you have time to react, because your Titans can't be everywhere all the time.
Hello.
They should be there.
Indeed.
Agreed. They should definitely be there. We're gonna upgrade that one to an executor. I would probably do it, because that is a breakthrough point potentially toward our command center. And again, lots of housing there, so we're going to try to make sure we buttress that as much as possible. Can we close that off without blocking the road? I'm not sure. We're trying to avoid that, actually, so we want to make sure we can run back if we need be. But we can't even run back through there, so I'm not really sure what the point of that is. I think it's to move out. I don't think we're going to be moving out there anytime soon. We can totally block that off, I think, pretty safely. Because we're having this exact discussion, I think, actually, if I think back through the mists of time. Yep, and we're like, we're not going there anyway. If there's a breakthrough, we're going to come in from the north, so we just freaking build walls everywhere, forget the gates, just make sure this is all secure. Make sure we can't get broken into pretty easily, so. And we're debating here to remove these. And like, well, that could be a firing pocket, and we were really kind of arguing about that, but again, we decided just to make sure, build thicker, heavier walls, it'll make us feel better, and we'll just try to defend the housing as the housing, basically, rather than trying to go into these little pockets and defend. We'll let the automated defenses do that. So, kind of what we're thinking. Again, we're just going to stick as much things to chew on in front of all this as possible, as much meat as possible to make sure we're clear. And as you can see, we're really paranoid about getting that one wall down there, and then this is probably not enough stone. That was our issue, yeah. Nice. So we got a stone cycle. And you probably saw on the map as well, at this point we built a bunch of power plants because we were running out of mill space, and we're like, fuck it, we just need a lot of power. We want to not be shortchanged when you upgrade executors kind of at the last second, because you will probably need to. So make sure you have some gap of powers and some spare power to do what you gotta do. Do what you gotta do, boo. It's y'all thing, and all that good stuff.
My machine
Get out
is
of there.
ready.
Move aside, Titan. We need to build walls. Ah, it's a good feeling when you have a base that you think can hand up the assault, because then you're equal parts nervous and equal parts excited. And as you can see, this is when the fun happens. Oh, dramatic music now. Good stuff. I'm glad I have sound back for the last one, because that's always nice. So we're seeing where the waves are coming from. This is going to give you a lot of intel. That wave is coming from just south of that lake, I think. So we're probably going to hit right there, which is why we're upgrading this one to an executor as backup in case the worst should happen. Northern hit should hit there, which is exactly where Titans are. So that's perfect. It might not even hit much on that side. West is likely going to hit either slightly north, slightly south of that, which is perfect. So we're well defended there. So this is our only real concern, and I'm kind of at this point saying, hey, you know, maybe we should
At your service.
go in there. Yeah, exactly right. And maybe we should keep this executor's backup. I don't know if we should do that yet, but I think Mama Ursa was insisting on that one. So we're gonna stick it in there. Yeah, see, that's a good move. I totally agree with that move. Walled off AoE Death Monkey, which is perfect. Selling iron, probably not a good plan. Yeah, I knew we didn't sell iron because we need a lot of iron, but I guess we're going to do it. Iron is worth a lot, so it's probably decent as long as you don't oversell the pudding. Again, we're doing this because we're pretty much expecting the Eastern Horde to kind of go through this weak point, so we'll make sure they go through as much pain as possible when they're trying to attack and go through the lines. 10s are going to be there to optimize what we're going to hit. These are some, I think, residuals from the edge of the map that we didn't quite get.
Is it tea time?
And here we're trying to make sure Titans are actually on the walls and they're all firing at some point. Spread them out a little bit. And once we know where the crux of the Horde is, we'll be able to reallocate. So we're definitely going to hit some stuff over there. Yeah, I would definitely go, yes, I would definitely where I'd go. Make sure you have maximum range and get the ladies in there too. Yep. That's exactly where I would go. So we're probably going to get some spill to the south and spill to the north where the Titans are at.
To break through.
Yeah, some defense is already being pushed. Again, this is stuff from the edge of the map. This isn't the final Horde. This is just little bits in the corners we didn't clear. You'll know when the final Horde comes. It'll be rather obvious.
Hello.
Some pretty nasty fatties, though. Lots of fatties. I thought we cleared the map pretty well. There must have been that little dark corner in the corner we didn't quite get. So now, as you can see, if you look on the minimap, and abuse your minimap, please, you'll know where force concentrations are coming. Because right now, we definitely have contact on the west. This is first contact, which makes sense since it is the bit furthest toward the edge of the map. So it makes sense that this is the first place we would actually get hit from. So my tiny little tendril down there, which the Thanatoses and the ladies should be able to cover no problem at all. And here we're going to see if, to what extent we're going to be able to need to require our Titans here. So, second contact is coming here on this point, which makes sense. We're going to have some jumpers over the walls. They're going to get chewed up in gats, so not that much of an issue. And look at that. You see what these benches are doing? They're going to the closest point to the housing and to the command center and trying to jump over, see if our defenses are weak so they can get an infection off. Douchey, but fair. Now, that is where our main defense is going to be, it looks like. So we're going to shift some of the Titans over to deal with the southern area and help out there, because that's definitely where the meat of it's coming. We got to make sure we're ready to go.
What can I do for you, sir?
And here, that's where a lot of it is. There's a couple tendrils down there, so I might kind of relocate a couple Titans to handle that. Again, here from the east, we're getting pushed on the corner, which makes sense. We're not getting pushed on the north much yet, but then we haven't seen much there either.
At your service.
And it looks like we could definitely use some help down to that side. That's where most of the east is going to be. And I'm moving the snipers there because, like I said, in the north, we're not sure where the nearest point is going to be. And we want to make sure we can move freely on that. So, as you can see, definitely lots of undead coming in. Minimap is flooded. The game is going to lag a bit here. But, again, you've seen that before. It's kind of the nature of the beast. So the only place we haven't had actual contact with the enemy is north yet, but it makes sense. It is one of the furthest away from the edge of the map. We will shortly be having that. We're going to move some Titans over to the east here, because we do have a bit of a tendril coming in this direction.
Hello.
Maybe we can go ahead and chop this up pretty well. Definitely pushing it pretty hard there. We're getting pushed pretty tough there, which we didn't really expect. The eastern wing kind of went up that way. And like this looks a lot less defended than the south, so we're going to go ahead and see if we can handle that group up there. It's arguable we should move just the Eastern Titans down. I haven't quite decided where we're going to go. And you're going to get the colonies succumb to the infection issue because the spitters will start spitting on your defensive buildings, so they will start hitting your ballista and things like that. So just expect a little bit of infection. Don't freak out when that thing comes. It doesn't mean they're actually hitting something that's actually, you know, dangerously infectable, effectively. But repair when you can, especially if you killed something that's been a little tendril, so you can go ahead and go further on when you've murked everything. So far so good. We do have a little tendril coming in that way. We've paused some sawmills to get some more power to make Gatling guns. And I think we decided to do it where? Where were we concerned? We were a little concerned over here. Again, it's closest to our command center, so we're going to go ahead and, like I said, at this point, wood production, not the most important thing in the world. Having an extra Gatling on that side where it's getting a little hairy, probably a very important thing. The Eastern Horde looks pretty meaty. There's a lot of red. There's a lot of red on the eastern side. This side looks pretty good. I'm not too worried about that. The west looks pretty solid. The north looks pretty solid. We haven't really had major contact with the wave in the north, but that's what this set of Titans is for. We're pretty much expecting it to be there. So, which makes sense. It's going to hit on the point and try to go through to the residences. So this part is probably the only part I'm a little wary about, but we're going to put an extra gat there just in case things get a little hairy. So, the south is getting pushed, but again, not much. Nothing the gats can't handle. This is the biggest meat there. A little bit to the west here we didn't see. Group ballista complete. Yeah, we got that one done, so that's good. These are being repaired, which is nice. Stuff coming in there. Titans are there already, so that's exactly where they need to be. We get hit there as well, which is an interesting little tendril snaking its way down. A tendril of meat. That north side is going to take care of itself with 6 gats. We got a little bit of meat here.
Good morning,
Not
sir.
too worried yet. I think we can handle that pretty well, but most of the meat's going to come there from the west. Looks like the northern tendril is relatively minor comparatively. So we're doing all right. Ladies and Thanatoses are working here. Working pretty well. If we look in the south, I'm not sure what we're doing in the south. That's going to be fine. I'm not worried about that particular gap yet because we have so many fallbacks yet.
This Better be
We're gonna shift the ladies down there.
They are
Yeah, that makes
attacking
sense.
the colony defenses.
There's a lot of fatties there. I don't know if that's the best idea all the time.
Trying to break into the building.
Trying to break into the buildings. And again, that's going to be because your Gatling guns and your ballista are going to get attacked. So not a big deal. Don't worry. Don't freak out. I always freak out when I hear that. But I'm like, they're breaking into the buildings? Oh, wait. They're breaking into the garrison guard towers. Never mind. We're okay. Nah, we good. We good. Ah, good. These Titans, the question is, yeah, where's the mass of everything? That's getting handled. That's more massive. So we're going to go ahead and kind of try to deal with that. Looks like that tendril is faded here to the southeast. You can see that. That's exactly what we want to see. We want to make sure that you use your space effectively here. Looks like we lost a ballista there on the west side, but that's okay. That side's getting pushed pretty hard. That's okay also for now. But that's where a lot of meat is getting pushed in. And again, we expected that because this is where the housing is. We're doing all right. The south is looking pretty fine. It's a wide front. We're doing all right. Look at how many banshees that is. Good lord. That was like 10 of them. Or 20 of them jumping over. Doing okay for now. This is getting a little hairy on this side. The west to get hit first. Our frontline ballistas are gone, but our backline's been firing this whole time. So again, the amount of time on target at wide open throttle as far as DPS is concerned, we're doing pretty good. So again, we're working here. We're looking to retreat there if necessary to behind the secondary lines. We have really good secondary lines there. The south is not too dangerous. We've got another little tendril eking its way up there, but again, that's probably going to get handled by the Gats and the walls they are. I'm a little concerned about Thanatos here. We're going to try to hold this as long as possible before everything goes to hell. It's kind of our plan. What are you doing, ladies? Oh, okay, we're concerned about the western breakthrough. It's possible that's the total end of the... yeah, we're basically saying whatever's down there will get handled by the defenses. Let's reroute everything northwest, because that's where the closest they are to breaking through, actually. And there's a hell of a lot of meat in the northeast, and I mean the direct north, I guess. A lot of meat there, which is a little concerning. Can't upgrade this, we have no power, basically. So this is why we don't want to get shortchanged on power. We need to shut down some more sawmills, is my guess. I mean, given that sawmills are not the most critical items at this point, and they each give 4 power, so shut down 2 of these fuckers, and we're good. So I would totally agree with this. A little extra gat there won't hurt, and remember, during upgrades, the base unit that is upgrading from is still firing. So no worries, just keep going. That's getting handled up there, no problem. All fine. Like I said, we're making liberal use of the pause button purely because, you know, we need to. They're probably going to break through to the advanced quarry there. They've broken through there in those walls, but the sheer amount of ballistas will handle that. And that side is now handled. Okay, so as you can see, that northern side of the western horde has been done. That side is also handled, so that's secure. As you start seeing this, this is why you want lots and lots of Titans or mobile units that can respond quickly. So again, part of the reason I value Titans over Thanatos is that they can move. Thanatoses are hella slow, and again, I'm not sure, I haven't played, you know, gobs and thousands of hours of this, but from what I've seen, I do like units that can relocate quickly and move as necessary. So there, we're thinking like there's a breakthrough. We'll probably leave them right behind the first set of gates. I don't know if this is the best move to do. I'm not sure that's the best idea. Ladies need help down there though. Yeah, there. That's exactly where I would put them. Oh, good, past me. You need to go somewhere else. You need to go north. That's where it's definitely getting pushed on. We're getting pushed on hard there, as you can see. So that northern defense with like 6 gats never came in handy. We're going to leave them right there. Yep, exactly what we need to do. Trying to push out there, but they're going to get chewed up there. West is more or less done. The only major threats left are kind of north and northeast. And again, we're relocating Titan groups that way. So we can make sure we can handle this pretty well. The snipers are doing pretty good work there. Titans are up there, cleared up the east, so they're going to deal with that area. Just kind of chew on that horde for a bit, make sure we get done. I need to kill something. Yes. Yes, yes. Of course they're stuck. This guy's like, oh, I don't know what I'm doing. Can't remove the mill, can't remove the mill, we need power. Can't do it. Can't do it. And we're like, God damn it. So we see that breakthrough like about to happen because they actually shut down the executor at this point. But again, we do have a lot of snipers now constantly firing. Definitely starting to take some losses on defenses though. Yeah, this is why the pathing in the game drives me absolutely insane sometimes. Like, fuck, we'll get rid of the extra walls here. Make sure they can move by. Yeah. There we go. Yeah, so that's what we need to do. And like I said, make the tough calls, do it quickly.
Good
That was a
morning,
really tough
sir.
call. That's just like, fuck, we need to do this or we're dead.
Infection is spreading across the colony.
Yeah, some zombies got through here. I think it's spitters, basically, that got, they managed to spit that up. But for now, we're doing quite alright. All our gas are still powered. Looks like north is more or less spent. West is more or less spent because they ran into a little more ballistas than they expected. And this is the worst of it. All spitters, baby. And spitters are what kill you. That's what really gets you. The west is fine. It's holding beautifully. South is more or less done, so we're going to kind of move some titans over there to make sure we can clear it off, or we're going to move them north. So not much anywhere else, so we should just clean up what we have left at this point. So we've basically survived at this point. We're pretty sure we got it in the bag, baby, but it's a little tricky. A little tricky to make sure because, you know, you're on that teetering, bleeding edge.
Good morning, sir.
But all well and good, honestly.
Indeed.
It was very good defense. We had plenty of emplacements, plenty of military to handle it. This is still getting pushed a bit. I mean, we probably just speed this up and move some titans to the west.
My machine
As you can
is
see,
ready.
the processing on the map on the engine has sped up a little bit. So obviously, like I said, most of the stuff here is dead by now. If there's anything else walking around, it's going to get chewed up by whatever defenses are left, so not too worried on that. The sheer amount of undead meat that came at us was kind of ridiculous. Yeah, we're just like, no, we're dead. Everything is done except for the Horde to the south. So as you can see, those skulls evaporate. We're going to go ahead and, again, refocus and destroy all this. And as you can see right there,
Let me destroy them.
job's done, baby. Got a spitter spitting up there, but that doesn't matter. The Hordes are over. And it is victory on our first legit try. Mama Earth and I are ecstatic about this, so hope you'll join us next time for the next episode. Until next time. Till then, to the frozen tundra we go.